Hello and welcome to the video Finding Love Part 2. And in this video, I'm continuing from the previous one, Finding Love Part 1. So I would recommend going back and if you're going through the series. But this one is quite a bit about what love is on an energy level. Okay, and how do you find that love energy? Okay, so that's the premise. Now, the question is why love matters. Uh, the reason is because of the vibrations that love creates. Okay, love creates a vibration, and it's created from the cells of the body. Everything in the universe, physical universe, has a frequency. It vibrates, it oscillates, or whatever, and each cell does. And actually, every part of a cell. If you just think of a cell, how complex it is. It has so many parts. It's like a little universe within itself. And it literally, through research, and they've documented that cells actually can emit sound. They're actually sound and light. They're emitting an energy, and what that means is that our entire body is made of little packets of energy cells, or you might want to call it, that creates its own frequency. Okay, it vibrates. And this is what creates us. This is what becomes us. All these cells working together, communicating. They literally communicate. See, that's the important part. And they communicate on different levels. And the reason that the love frequency is so important, why it matters, is that this is what shapes you and your body and your consciousness, okay, and your soul is what creates, is what level of frequency you can become. Okay, you want to find love, then you have to realize the importance of everything that's involved in the universe and how it's all, working together, and we're all communicating actually. So, thinking about how to make love grow, well, you need education. Education is super important. Okay, the more you can just learn about things, and then your experiences. You have to experience things. You have to meet people. You have to talk, interact and with people, nature, plants, animals, life itself. You have to interact and have all these kinds of experiences. So you see, and that's what develops your love and your understanding with the knowledge that you're gaining and whatnot, and that you're able to project yourself. Okay, as an awareness of who other people are. Put yourself in their position. Okay, and you raise your frequency level. That grows, and this is how it happens. And this takes a long time. This takes years and years and lifetimes even. That's why you don't learn everything in one time, because it does take time. Because you're eventually growing your frequency level, and your love, okay, is growing, and so the love frequency that is in everything, is in the universe, and emanates in the cells, okay, in every cell of the body, and they spread, okay. You get near a love force or someone who you feel they have love, you can feel it, okay, it's and we share it. That's important, that we share this feeling. Okay, because it spreads. Not exactly like a disease. It's like a disease, but it's not exactly a bad disease. Okay, but that way, something you want to spread and get. More love and higher frequency level. You have to develop those over time. You see, it just doesn't come naturally, or even it's just something you have to want. You have to seek out, and it's shared. Okay, so if you want to raise your love frequency level, you have to look at your own thoughts. Okay, there's research even about the idea of thoughts. They actually create wavelengths to other people and other reactions. And so don't think they think that your thoughts are not important, because they are. You say, well, so I'm thinking nice things and whatnot, but what difference does that make? Well, it makes a lot of difference. It makes tremendous. It makes all the difference. If your thoughts are negative, you become negative, and you create that negative frequency, and you spread it. You see, so your thoughts are extremely important. Because you might say something, your speech, usually you have a thought, then you might say something to someone, and you say, well, I didn't really say it, so it didn't hurt anybody, but just thinking doesn't hurt maybe immediately, but it throws out those negative energies, okay? And then when you start saying things like maybe something ugly to someone, it's mean, and those things, you're not only just hurting their feeling, but you're actually sending out those frequencies, lower frequencies, okay? And that's what happens. Other people can experience it and feel it. It affects them. And then your actions, like you actually do something to hurt someone, hit them, whatever type thing, your actions, that causes even more, of course, kind of raising the frequency level of yourself, or lowering it, So they're all connected. Your thoughts, your speech, your actions, that's who you are. That's your consciousness, your thoughts. Okay, that's you. That's your thinking. What else would that be? So that's what you have to learn to control. Okay, when you find in love, you have to learn to control your thoughts, because those thoughts are your frequency levels, you see? And so you may have read or heard of L. Ron Hubbard. He had a very interesting scale, which I've used myself, which I think is probably pretty accurate. I think so. In that with levels, he has a range from almost 0 to 1,000 is the frequency levels. Okay, so the lower your frequency level, then the more your ego is taken over. Okay, if you're very low, like people who are, I would say, are very, maybe even Nazi types, or people who, I wouldn't have to say MAGA people, but people who are in that vein of just willing to do anything, Nazi types, or KKK members who think they're so right, very low numbers are below 100. And those kind of people, they don't think very much about anybody else. Their love level is, nowhere. So those are the problem. Is when you lower than 200 level, then see your reasoning is pretty lost, because your ego is taken over That's what's happened. That's why your number is so low, below 200. Because your ego is in control, and you have to take control of your ego, and that's how you find love, and that's why you raise your frequency level. So if you can raise it up to over 200, to say a lot of people are around 200-300 range. They're progressive type people or whatever, and very educated maybe, and but they've experienced a lot of things, and they have a lot of caring for other people. And then but this takes time. Like I said, it could take a lifetime for your frequency level to move a whole lot, or it could be that some experiences just transformed you and it raised it way up. The frequency levels, say, of over 400 to 500 range, that could be, people who have, I don't know, Benjamin Franklin or Abraham Lincoln, or, there's some other philosophers or thinkers or whatnot, could get up to those kind of levels, or a lot of people who really do a lot for others, or so that's about the range we're looking at. So if you get up to 600 level, according to this, you're like Christ-like. That's about that's enlightenment, sort of idea. Your love is as much as you can on earth. 1,000, is said to be really God consciousness, total unconditional love for everything, and that's higher than maybe people on earth have actually reached. But those are the ranges. Okay, so that's something I want you to think about, because those are not make believe things. Your frequency level is not make believe, and it does change. Okay, and it does change, and it changes your whole body. Okay, if you learn to connect to the rest of the world, okay, to everything, because everything has a consciousness level. It has a part of it that is consciousness, and it is part of you. So you have to connect your ego to the rest of the world and to life. You see, this is how you create love for others, finding that connection, okay, that you really care about, maybe things in other places and whatnot, and you raise your frequency level. And this is what we're going to be working on this series, is raising your consciousness level and raising your love frequency, okay? And so next time we're going to be looking at nature, how nature can really make a huge difference in what that means. Okay, so for now, I'd like to thank you for watching, and you can join me at my YouTube channel, Freedom, Love, and Joy, and you can go to my website, freedomloveandjoy.com, and I have 2 books, Transformation of Human Consciousness by Design and Freedom, Love, Joy Movement, on Amazon.com. All right, thank you. Bye.